Hey guys, what's up? So I'm back with another episode of Full Stack Python. So what we are going to do today is basically do set up our environment, our development environment. So what we are going to do, basically we are going to install Python 3, which basically on if you are using a Mac, it is already installed, and if you're using Linux, Ubuntu, it is already there. And along after that, we are going to install the pyenv, which is basically the Python environment, which gives you the virtual environment capabilities. So you can have develop different Python packages installed for different environments, basically. So, and then the next thing we will do is we will install some Python packages in our Py environment using pep. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing first, if you don't have Python, you have to install it. You can go to python.org and download the version for your Windows. In Mac it is already there. So if I check my Python here, so Python hyphen version, so I will get the Python version, which is based actually 3.8.2. And then for now what next we do, we will be installing pyenv on our machines, right? So either if you're using Mac, you are install it using the brew. So in order to install your pyenv on Mac, you will need some dependencies, which are something like this. I will put in the description so you can install. So I'm going to do the brew install, which is very simple and easy to actually go through. So what you have to do, you have to do brew install OpenSSL readline, and I mean these are the four dependencies that it would need: OpenSSL, readline, SQLite, and XZ, and zlib. Okay, so once this is installed, it will take some time to actually install this whole thing. And so how rather in my case, everything was already installed, so I just ran it and it says that you already have everything installed. So in case you get a new version or you get a problem, you can just hit reinstall and whatever the package you want to install. Okay, now next thing is the pyenv. So how to install pyenv? What we will do, we will install pyenv basically. So we need to do is brew install pyenv. So in my case it's already installed, so I'm just running, walking you through the commands that we will need. So in my case, brew install pyenv will already work because I already have pyenv installed, so it will just throw an error right away. So let's wait. And as far as the installation on other OSs is is dependent, what I will do, I will just post some guides which will help you to actually install pyenv on your OS, maybe it's Windows or Ubuntu. First we will list out all the install that's are available. So I will just list out, this is the command which actually will let me list out all the available version, right? So in my case there are a lot of versions, so I have already installed it, but I will show you how to do it. So pyenv, then we will say install, then version is 3.8.2, right? So it is already installed in my case, so this will just say okay, pyenv is already installed. I will just hit end. Okay, so now that we have pyenv installed, we would need to actually do check if we want to have it global or we want to have it locally. So like in my case, if I want to use 3.8.2 globally with pyenv, so I will just say that okay, I want to use 3.8.2 as my global Python environment, right? Python version that I want to use. So if I set this, so my Python global is this. So if I say pyenv global, it will give me 3.8.2, right? So it globally will be using this. So if you want to have another version, you will just do pyenv install the version that you want and then set a pyenv global on that. So now that we have pyenv installed, in order to get one more dependency which actually will create, activate, or deactivate your Python environments, we need to use brew install pyenv dash virtual env. Okay, so what this will do, it will actually let you install virtual env, pyenv virtual env plugin on you with your, along with your pyenv installation. Okay, so let's wait for it. Once it's installed, then we will create our first environment. Okay. So when we run a command pyenv virtual and then dummy, it will just actually let you create a virtual environment. It's actually creating on the backend. So here we see that it is already created. Activate that. What we will do, pyenv activate, then the name of my environment, which is dummy in my case. So if you see, the dummy is already there. So now if I want to check what version of my virtual env is, what I will say, python hyphen version, because I'm using just one version. So in my case it says you have only one version, right? Now what if I want to create a virtual environment of particular um, particular version, with a particular version? So what I will do, so first I will python deactivate, right? And this just deactivates the environment. So let's say I want to install a different environment, different version of Python, and have an environment based on that version. So what I will do, I will first install that version. So in my case, I'm installing py-install. I will do pyenv install 3.7.2. Once installed, what I have to do is I create an environment. So I will do pyenv create actually pyenv virtual env basically, and then the version that I want it with 3.7.2. Then after this, once I have 3.7.2 over there, I will run the name. I will give a name, right? Like I'd say dummy dash new, or 3.7 dash n, something like that. So this will create an environment. Once it's created, I will have that available right away. But in my case, 3.7.2 is not installed, so you can install it. I don't want to install it, but I am showing you how it can be done. Now that I have this over here, right? So let's say I have a lot of environments. Now for some reasons, I don't know what the name of environments are, so that I can activate it later on, or something like that. So what I have to do is pyenv, then virtual env with an s, virtual env. So it will list all your environments that you have, and it will show you where where the versions, or which versions it has used. So in my case, we have used 3.8.2. So in this case, we have two environments, right? So one is bookbug, then is dummy. So now that we have this environment created, right, I just want to use this dummy environment. So pyenv activate, right, dummy. So I have activated this dummy environment. I want to install something on this environment. So I want to install Python. So let's say I want to install requests. So requests. So what I'll do, pip 3 install requests. Right. Basically, the only version that would be installed is pip, but just for the sake of making sure that we are not mismatching or doing anything bad over here, we are using pip 3. Now, if you see pip hyphen version, it will give you what version we are using. It's just to check if it is actually the right version, right? So it says 19.2.3, and here it says 19.2.3 when you are using pip 3. Okay. So today we have learned a lot. We have learned how to create the environments, how to install pyenv on our machines, and how to activate, deactivate the virtual environments, how to use multiple Python versions. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And if you guys do have any comments, please do share, and do like and subscribe the videos. That would really help me.